Hello once again to educator.com lessons on e-marketing. We're going to go even more deeper now than the previous lessons. We're going to talk about things you probably never heard about. Okay, as you can see right here on this slide, we're going to talk about sitemaps. We're going to talk about Robot.txt. Well, what are they? Well, we're going to add a little bit more something to it. We're going to add a third component called the htaccess file. You've never heard of this, have you? Well, maybe you have. I shouldn't assume. Let's just say that if you have know about this, then it tells me that you pretty much are well established and understanding about SEO. So congratulations. But those who don't know this, hey, that's okay, because that's what we're here for. We're here to teach you. We're here to educate you. And after these lessons are all done, you'll know just pretty much as the big boys do. So let's go ahead and dive right into sitemaps. We're going to go to the next slide over here. Okay, so what are sitemaps? Again, we're talking about search engine optimization. We want to make the search engines happy. In the previous lesson, I had talked about what attracts the bots. Now, here's my little bot guy right here. Okay, so he's a little piece of software that Google sends out looking for websites. Okay, and he basically looks for certain components in not only a website but a directory of a website. Now, sitemaps, and I'm going to go to the previous slide over here. Sitemaps and Robot.txt and htaccess does not have anything to do, or we'll just say does not belong in a web page. This has more to do with the server. Okay? Has more to do with the directory of your website. And a directory meaning your HTML files, your image files, your music files, any file inside the directory of your server. Okay, and these sites belong. Okay, the sitemap, the Robot.txt, and the htaccess belong alongside these guys right here. So we'll add something, sitemap.xml, and I'll explain this in a few seconds, the Robot.txt, and then, of course, a .htaccess. All these belong alongside. So, again, these are not something, the sitemap, the Robot.txt, the htaccess, they're not something that you code into a web page. Instead, this is something that you include into your directory or your server alongside your web pages. All right, let's go ahead and take this down. No, we don't want to save it. Well, actually, let's just minimize it. Make life easier, okay? So now we're back at our original slide over here. Again, this is our bot. Okay, this guy, Google sends out this bot, and what he does is looks at the directory. Now, if you ever use those software like Fetch for the Macintosh or FileZilla for the PC, you would be able to see the entire directory, okay, all this right here, inside your web page. And if you ever get a chance to look at it through the eyes of an FTP software, okay, I'll write it down here, FTP software, okay, you will see that it's got several different files. Here's an HTML file, and it's got several different folders, okay, that include other files. Okay, for instance, here's an images folder, okay, so that's where the images are. So it takes a lot of work for a bot to go through all these files. I mean, let's face it, I've seen websites that's got thousands of files. So the poor bot's got to go through all these files to kind of figure out, well, what's it all about? Well, we're going to make it a little happier. We're going to let them know ahead of time what's in the directory with the help of what is known a sitemap, an XML sitemap. An XML sitemap informs the search engines about web pages on a website that are available for crawling. Okay, so everything is listed inside this, and basically this is just a simple text file. Now, don't be alarmed. There is nothing technical about this. There's not hard to figure out. We're going to go to the next slide and show you how we can generate an XML sitemap. I don't know what XML stands for, but I know, well, at least I know what the ML stands for, markup language. But the X, I don't know. It doesn't matter. But the extension is usually called sitemap.xml, as we will see. Let's go to the next slide. All right. So here we offer instructions on how to generate a sitemap. Now, you can also open up the PDF. It's titled Create an XML Sitemap, and I'll go ahead and open it up here to give you a little bit of an understanding on how to do that. These are step-by-steps. As you can see, there are 8 different steps involved in creating an XML sitemap. Okay, so everything is done through a generator. Okay, as you can see right here, an XML generator. I'll kind of increase the size over here so you can see. I think that should be enough. Well, that's a little bit too big. So let's go ahead and shrink it down a little bit. Okay, in this PDF, we refer to an XML sitemap generator. I'll go ahead and go through this, and then I'll show you hands-on. The first thing you want to do, once the XML, you go through a website to generate the XML, you'll download the XML file. You'll upload it to your website using FileZilla, Fetch, or another tool. Then it involves creating a Google account. You need to get affiliated with Google Webmaster Tools. Don't be alarmed, it's easy, okay? Then you want to add to your site by clicking on the, these are instructions on how to submit the sitemap into your search engines, because the search engines need to know about this. Okay, so these are step-by-step instructions. I explain how to use Google tools, Webmaster Tools, to embed a sitemap into your server, and then submitting it, and then Google will check the sitemap in itself. So it's all in the PDF. Create an XML sitemap. Go ahead and download it, and you'll enjoy it. But let's go to generating a sitemap. It's really simple. Okay, so I'm going to open up a browser right now. Okay, now this is a website that I created. It's called Angeles Oaks Vacation. For those of you who are not in Southern California, Angeles Oaks is a beautiful area in the San Bernardino Mountains. It gives us Southern Californians a taste of snow, winter. So a lot of skiers, we go up there. Hey, we're in Southern Cali. An hour from now, we can climb mountains and go skiing. An hour on the other direction, we can go surfing. Me, I just stay behind a computer, but that's my own issue. So, Angeles Oaks, these people came up to me and asked me to build a website. And here you can look through the different website, different pages. I've got a calendar there. I've got pictures of this place. All these has to be known to the search engines. Okay, so we want to create a sitemap for them so that the search engines can find this place based on keywords. And keywords, of course, meaning vacation rentals, the town itself, Angeles Oaks. So let's go ahead and enter into, now by the way, you can just type sitemap generator. I do have the address for this one. This one is the best one out there. So I'm just going to go ahead and increase the size of this screen here if I can. There we go. And just type it sitemap generator, as you can see right here, or XML sitemap generator. You'll most likely be taken to this page. Otherwise, I do have it written on the slide. It's called xml-sitemaps.com. It'll take you to this website right here. And let me go ahead and go back a little bit. Okay, I think it went to, I've already generated a sitemap, so we'll go ahead and press return. Take you, here's the home page. Now, in this website, okay, basically it gives you the instructions. Enter the website URL, which is a web address. Press the start button, which is right over here. Okay, and then you'll be redirected to another page where you're allowed to download the sitemap for you to upload. So in this case right here, I want to enter the web address of Angelus Oaks. So I'm going to highlight it. Okay, and I'm going to copy it. Now I'll go back to xml-sitemaps.com and I will go ahead and paste it. There it is. Now the change frequency, don't really worry about that. I mean, this site is kind of static, so I would say yearly. Maybe I'll add a new picture or so, or maybe add some information on updated prices. Don't really have to worry about last modification. These radio buttons that are already selected are there by default. It's usually 90% of the time this is the answer. So the last modification, they can get the information from the server. You don't have to supply that. Priority, just press none. There really isn't a priority. And then go ahead and press the start key. Now watch what happens. As you can see from the screen, it's analyzing the website. It's going through it just like a bot would, and it's done. Now the next step they tell you is to download the sitemap by clicking here, okay, and then uploading it into the domain root folder. Okay, and it reminds you once again what the website is. So the next step, of course, is to upload this into the server. So let's go ahead, and some of you may decide to use FileZilla or use Fetch for the Macintosh. I decided to use GoDaddy since I have that information. I'm not endorsing GoDaddy, but they supply you with a nice little FTP right here, file manager, and I can go ahead and upload it that way. So as you can see, these are many of the websites that I've created. So I'm going to choose Angelus Oaks, and then what I'm going to do is press Upload, and then I press Browse, and I find Sitemap. Then I press Open, and then I press OK. Now it's uploading. And pretty soon, it'll tell me right now that upload is completed. And now that we've uploaded the sitemap, we're going to go into Webmaster Tools. Okay, see, it doesn't end right here. Okay, we need to submit the sitemap to Google to let them know, well, start looking, send your bot our way, and it can basically, well, like us. So we want to be favorable towards Google, and we're going to go into Webmaster Tools a little bit. Here again, we're going to be uploading the sitemap using the tools. Now, in order to utilize Webmaster Tools, you need to have a Google account. So if you haven't already have one, please go ahead and create one. Just go to google.com. On the upper right corner of it, you'll be able to create account. If you have a Gmail account, that means you've got a Google account. If you have a Blogger account, you have a Google account. So go ahead and log in. You can pause this video right now and go ahead and access your Google account. Now, to find Webmaster Tools, you can go ahead and type in Webmaster Tools in the Google search bar. Most likely, in fact, actually 100% of the time, their Webmaster Tools will appear. Of course, it's a Google product, so that will appear on the first place, the very top of the search results. So you can see right here, we've got Webmaster Tools. I'm going to go ahead and press that. And as you can see, I've got two other websites that I have already implemented. Now, part of this, as mentioned and already mentioned in the PDF, you have to not only add the website, but you're also going to have to verify it, and that is a little tricky, but let's take the first step in adding a website. Now, when I press Add a Website, I have to enter the URL, and then I know that I have to type in the web address that I'm looking for, in this case, angelusoaksvacation.com. And then I'll press Continue. Now, what Google wants to know is, do you own this website? Do you have rights to the website? And there's several ways of verifying it. Now, I do have a GoDaddy account. The website is located in the GoDaddy server, so I can go ahead and verify that I have this in that account. But there are alternate methods. Now, they do have other domain registrars that you can type in, and this is a nice list of registers out there. So we'll keep it at GoDaddy because that's what I have. There are alternative methods of verifying. Okay, you can upload an HTML or insert a tag, or of course use a Google Analytics account. For the sake of time, we're not going to do either. But what we will do is go ahead and verify this. And I'll go ahead and open this up. As you can see, that's my customer login and password. I'll simply go ahead and log in. Are you sure? Do you want to verify Angeles Oaks Vacations? Well, yes, I do. And let it do its thing. It's verifying. It's done. So we'll continue. And as you can see right there, it's already taking me to a page that I need to access in order to submit my sitemap. So what I will do now is I will go ahead and look for configuration, and then I will also look for search query optimization, and then there you see sitemaps. Okay, so again, configuration or optimization, then click on sitemaps, and from here it's pretty simple. You can go ahead and add a sitemap, and I've uploaded it, and all I got to do is type it in. I don't have to resubmit it or re-upload it. I just have to let them know what the actual URL for that sitemap is, and it's simple, sitemap.xml. And I go ahead and submit it. I don't need to test it, but it's pretty much up there. It's already submitted. Okay, refresh the page, whatever that does. As you can see, there it is right there. It is pending. They're studying it. They're looking at it. It's all good. So we've done our job as far as sitemaps are concerned. So let's go ahead and minimize this. Let's go ahead and keep this around because we'll be discussing things a little bit later. And that just about does it for sitemaps. So hopefully that wasn't too painful. I think it's easy. Just follow the instructions in that PDF and you'll be able to get it no problem. So let's go ahead to the next thing, which we'll be talking about are Robot.txt. Okay. Oh, here we go. How to submit a sitemap. Well, we went through this already. Of course, first, like I said, well, this is a nice way to repeat. First thing you want to do is upload. Then you want to submit. Okay. You want to upload using FTP software. You want to submit using Webmaster Tools. Okay. Are we done with sitemaps? Yes, we are. Okay. So now we're going on into Robot.txt. Or Robot.txt. Of course, it's called Robot.txt because that's the file name. Okay, so what is the purpose of a Robot.txt? Well, basically, if you look at this diagram, there may be some pages, okay, that you do not want the robots or the bots to access. It could be a members only page. Okay, I'll type it in blue. It could be secret information. Okay, not necessarily CIA or FBI stuff, but it could be secret information. Maybe I'll use a better color here. It could be, well, it could be anything. It could be whatever that you don't want people to look at this point. So, you know, you want to be able to not have the bots enter this. Sorry, I guess I kind of got a little... At any rate, what we want to do is we want to be able to utilize this Robot.txt for various reasons, and whatever the case may be, we want to utilize the services of the bot. Now, the website you want to go to is this website right here. It's called Macnarian. Again, it's over here. It's also on the PDF that I call Robot.txt Generation. Okay, so again, here it is. Download it, look at it. Over here is a sample code that I have created, or that's been generated for me from the website over here. And again, it's downloadable. It's called Robot.txtgenerator.pdf. So look at it, study it. We're going to go through the step-by-step procedure right now. All right. So first thing you want to do is you want to generate this. So let's go to our browser, okay? And if you type in Robot.txt Generator, more than likely you will see this web page right here. Now, again, the whole idea behind a robot text is so the search engines does not see certain pages. You don't want them to index certain pages. Okay, this is pretty dramatic, or pretty much came into limelight recently with all these, I guess, these comments website like Yelp and I guess rip-off reports, where you're pretty much exposing businesses fairly or unfairly. And there has been some legal issues with that. So what they decided to do was not index the results. If you really want to find out about a company, you got to go into their website and find out more about it. Before, you can type in a company name, and sometimes rip-off reports is the first thing that shows off, and that is just not good for business. Okay, so here, basically, you are allowing certain bots to come in. You want the Google bot to come in. You want these search engine directories. And you want them to access your website for the most part, but there may be some restricted directories that you want to put in. And I'm just going to type in some that I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Could be a members only. It could be top secret, whatever it could be. Okay, I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to go ahead and increase the size of this screen if I can. There we go. Again, by default, okay, you want all these bots to show up on your website, especially search engine bots. There are specific bots that you may not want to show up or to look at your website, and I'll go over that in a few seconds here. But then once I've entered the areas where I don't want them to access, okay, there is, for instance, some bots out there that you don't want their images. You could have family images, okay? So you don't want that indexed into the search engine results, okay? So once we decided exactly which pages we want or we don't want, we create, okay, we go ahead and create the robot text. Do we want to create it? Yes, we do. And this is what the results are. And from here on, okay, you notice that we pretty much allow every agent, whether it's a search, that's what user agent stands for. But we disallow them to access the CGI bin. We disallow them to access the members only directory. We disallow top secret, and we disallow images. And then, of course, we want to enter the sitemap address, which we should have actually, I guess there was a section here that allows you to do that, or maybe not. Okay, oh, here it is right here. We didn't do that, but you can do that, we can do that right here. The site that we've been working on right now is called angelusoaks.com/sitemap.xml. Oops, not XLM. XML. It's been a long day. So, you want to copy this and put it on a text editor, save it into your hard drive. Okay, then what we do is we go to an FTP software and we upload them. So we'll go ahead, again, I'm using GoDaddy over here because I'm using a Macintosh here and Fetch is not available. So I use the GoDaddy. It's all purpose. So we'll go ahead and upload. Okay, we'll browse it, and there it is right there. Robot text. We'll click on open and we'll click on OK. So eventually, there it is. Upload is complete. And there it is. The robot text is right there. So pretty impressive stuff, I'd say. And that's all there's to it when it comes to the robot text for this particular website. All right. At this point, we're going to go ahead and minimize it. The website, actually the browser right now. Okay, and we're going to go on to the next slide and talk about the HT access. Now, the HT access is a much more powerful way of keeping intruders or bots from entering into your directory, more so than robot text. Now, there has been an issue with certain companies, some image owners, okay? They have created a bot that goes around websites and look for images that have been pirated or been used without permission. Now, I, for one, am against piracy. I'm against the use of any sort of music or any sort of images without the owner's permission. So they created a bot that looks for that. And once they do find out that you're using an image or a piece of music or a video that is not of your permission, it'll inform the owner, and you will get a letter to either pay up or take it down. And who needs that? So if you're really, first of all, I urge you, please don't pirate. Okay, it's not that difficult to get permission. There are images out there that are very cheap and affordable. You can go to any image website. Fotolia is a really good one. I'm going to type it in, fotolia.com. Very reasonable rates for images, and there's no need to go to Google Images and copy images that are not of yours. So anyways, the whole purpose is to prevent certain bots to enter your directory, and also prevent certain websites or IP address from entering your site. Okay, and the Robot.txt, don't even worry about that. That's the initial shield. The HT-Access is the final shield. Okay, that's actually make that reverse. This is the original one. These guys are on the front line. So if it doesn't get to this, if it gets past to this, then it gets to the Robot.txt takes over. But if it doesn't get past HT-Access, it doesn't see your website. So if you entered into an IP address, and I'll show you the file in a second here, the people are not going to be able to see your website. And again, it prevents bots that ignore the Robot.txt. Yes, there are bots that can ignore a Robot.txt. They'll completely ignore the instructions there. And I think, to me, that's rather unethical. Okay, that's just intrusive. That's just as bad as piracy. But I'm not an attorney, so I'm not going to go into too much. This is how the HT-Access looks like. Okay, so you just copy and paste this whole thing. All right. Notice that it basically deny from this web address, deny from this web address. Now, there's a lot of IP addresses. Now, it's not just bots that I want to ignore. It could also be spammers. It could also be people who are looking at your website without your permission. It could be your competitors. Who knows? So regardless of which computer, where you're at, the HT-Access files prevents any sort of intrusion. Okay, and I could basically put in different bots. Okay, deny from this website, block the PicScout bot, whatever the case may be. Again, deny from this, deny. And what you do is you basically create a text file. Okay, and I'm going to go back to so what you do is you create a text file and make sure you save it as .ht-access. Okay, so in other words, there's nothing here. Okay, there's nothing there. It's just .ht-access. Okay, it's not .ht-access.txt. Okay, it is just HT-Access. That's all it is. And you go ahead and upload that into your server. Okay, I'm going to show you again. In this case right here, I'm going to go up one because I've already uploaded. And there you see, I would assume, somewhere here, the HT-Access. There it is. There it is right there. I'll go ahead and increase the file size so you can see it. I'm going to have to scroll down a bit. There, as you'll be able to see that. So to protect my clients, to protect my my websites, there are certain bots that I don't want people seeing. There's certain bots that I don't want intruding upon my server. So the HT-Access. And yes, you'd be pretty foolish to put in the IP address for Google or Yahoo or MSN or whichever search engine bot that needs to be able to access your site. But then again, you, for whatever reason, you might want that. The choice is yours. This is Jim Haig for Educator.com. Stay tuned for the next lesson on e-marketing.